Welcome everyone to our Elevating Innovation series in partnership with Microsoft. We're going to explore what Microsoft's ecosystem partners are creating, learning, and where they're going next at the intersection of culture and innovation for a tech-driven society. Microsoft's Black Partner Growth Initiative, also known as BPGI, helps tech partners use its resources to succeed. So I'd like everyone to really think of it as a business booster offering access to training, community, and opportunities. And for those who are not familiar with me, I'm Corey Hale, the CEO and co-founder of Culture Banks, where we create business news for hip hop culture. And today we are going to unpack the importance of elevating innovation through digital transformation. But I'd like to start by having Regina Johnson join me. She is the director of Microsoft's Black Partner Growth Initiative and is our partner in this Elevating Innovation series. Hi, Regina.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks so much for being a part of this, for working with us to amplify the great partners that you guys have at Microsoft. So as we kick off this discussion, can you share more about your support of the series and why Microsoft is committed to shining a light on these tech ecosystem builders?
You know, there is a phrase that Microsoft always uses that partners make more possible. And when we say partners, we are talking about tech entrepreneurs. We are talking about companies that we collaborate with because we cannot scale without partnership. And so that's why we care. That's why we work with these phenomenal entrepreneurs that are here on the screen who are building awesome solutions and services that I know they are going to talk about. They're already reaching customers. And so we want to align with the innovators who are creating change. And we do that a lot with not only this initiative, but in general, the Microsoft AI Cloud Partner Program is focused on working with small and medium-sized businesses, with enterprise companies, and really trying to go forward together because that's where innovation occurs. And so that's why we're here. We care about the stories. We love sharing their stories. We're always going to try to figure out a way to share their stories. So I'm so proud of the phenomenal things that they are doing. And we are always going to partner with entrepreneurs like the awesome ones we see on the screen.
Right. And some of that partnership work you did kind of allude to, but I would love if you can share a bit more about the accelerator programs that you guys have through BGPI, which I know some of the entrepreneurs that we're going to be hearing from today have taken part in.
So, one of the things we do with the Black Partner Growth Initiative, which is one of the initiatives that is aligned with the Microsoft AI Cloud Partner Program, is really try to understand the partners and again, the entrepreneur journey. We have smaller cohorts. We run in a cohort model where we work with partners for several months. These partners on the screen we've worked with for a few years. And the reason we do so is because we really want to understand what is your journey, what is your customer strategy? How can we go to market together? And we provide a lot of resources through the Microsoft Partner Program, through a lot of different skilling. But the biggest thing that we do is really trying to connect other partners to other partners, because when people work together, that's how things can scale. So people are able to apply for our smaller cohorts, apply to be a member in communities that we offer, like the Black Channel Partner Alliance, Women in Cloud, International Association of Microsoft Channel Partner, and really apply to a lot of other initiatives. These entrepreneurs on the screen have been included in the Black Partner Growth Initiative, but we have Microsoft for Startups. There is dozens of initiatives at Microsoft that's really focused on how do we help entrepreneurs really do the great work that they are doing, just do it at scale. So that's part of what we do.
Oh, all right. Perfect. So for everyone watching, just know there are opportunities for you all to also get involved with the many initiatives that Microsoft has. Regina, thank you so much for joining us. I greatly appreciate it.
I am happy to be here. I'm more excited about these partners having the opportunity to now be able to talk a little bit about their story.
Yes, and that's what we're going to get into, especially with the three great entrepreneurs that we have coming up. And I just want our audience to know that you guys are the key to amplifying their stories and what they're doing to create these unique solutions and services for customers globally. We're going to explore all of that. So with that in mind, it's time to jump into our conscious conversation around elevating innovation with our excellent panelists today. Now, they're all very impressive, so I don't have time to read their full extensive bio. So I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a snippet of who they are. We're going to start with Lucas Diaz. He is the co-founder and managing director of Ludia Consulting, with more than 20 years of hands-on experience in the Microsoft Dynamics ecosystem. Lucas is recognized as a leading architect and trusted advisor for digital transformation projects, particularly those involving Microsoft Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. Lucas has deep experience in software delivery, client management, and sales, with a focus on enterprise architecture and delivery expertise to provide your organization with the support it needs. In addition to helping organizations solve business-critical challenges, he is a committed mentor and advocate for diverse talent in technology. Also joining us is Jacqueline Shorter Beauchamp, co-founder, chairwoman, and CEO of Engaged Media Studios. She's a technology pioneer, seasoned international businesswoman, entrepreneur, and thought leader with more than 25 years of experience within the digital media, technology, and augmented reality space. Back in 2021, Jacqueline and her team designed an augmented reality and interactive exhibit for the Black College Hall of Fame and NFL Hall of Fame. She delivers story-driven, immersive experience content. And before founding Engaged Media Studios, Jacqueline was a co-founder of Energize Entertainment, which became the first African-American-led video game studio to develop and ship on Microsoft Xbox 360 console, with the shipment of the Black College Football Experience, the Doug Williams edition. And rounding out our panel is none other than Dexter Hardy, who is the president of Integral. He has leveraged his more than 2 decades of enterprise IT experience and is a thought leader in architecting infrastructure as a code, as a service, innovation to serve Fortune brands and enterprises to achieve their business outcome. Dexter's company boasts over 250 Azure Marketplace products and services and consulting services to client worldwide. His career began at IBM and Accenture, focusing on process improvement along with technical and system architecture. This foundation actually paved the way for his entrepreneurial journey with Integral. And in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, Dexter spearheaded the company's shift to cloud-based solutions, a strategic move that expanded Integral's reach to customers, and get this, everyone, over 100 countries. So thank you so much, all three of you, for being a part of this conversation. And I want to get right into the questions. And this is for all three of you, but Lucas, I'm going to pose it to you first. I'd love for you to share about your path to creating a tech-driven company with Ludia Consulting, along with the unique space that you all operate in.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you. My name is Lucas Diaz here. Pleasure being here. We created Ludia Consulting as a company that really implements Microsoft Dynamics. We're the center of digital transformation for our customers. We work specifically within the physical operations space, which is basically customer service, service operations, ERP, customer support, field service, and the like, and unifying everything under one platform. We saw the opportunity post-pandemic that companies and customers were trying to really look for unified data solutions, and we're it. So we're implementer focused on bringing customers into the new age of digital transformation.
I love that. And Jacqueline, how about you at Engaged Media?
Yeah, at Engaged Media, we are a end-to-end immersive experience company specializing in AI cloud-based SaaS solutions, specializing in augmented mixed reality and virtual reality, where we take those experiences and we migrate them across various sectors, including sports, entertainment, industrial, government, and museum-based organization. So we drive, and really this entire technology-driven space is very, very personal for me, especially as an African-American woman in the technology industry, having to navigate the space for representation, that drives every aspects across all of our industries and all of our sectors. Our business operates in this very, very unique space where we take and we pioneer these immersive experiences like hologram apps and AI-powered platform that allow customers to be able to transform their industries into spaces as they go through various forms of migration. So for us, we also go beyond the tech where we work very, very specifically on telling our customer stories. We want to elevate their voices, expand them into this digital experience realm where the human aspect ends up coming to life. So, for us, it's not just about, the success aspect of it. It's also about opening doors, breaking barriers, ceilings, and ensuring that the technology is there with all of the tools that empowers everyone to be successful.
Yes, I love that. Dexter, I'm going to throw it right over to you. Tell us about Integral, especially because all of you have more than 2 decades of experience, but in the scheme of entrepreneurship, Dexter, Integral is somewhat of a newer company.
Yeah. So thanks for that. Dexter Hardy here, President CTO at Integral Inc., headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. And yes, we have over 20 years of what we would say systems integration experience. So deploying, building, and innovating, leveraging the cloud and other technologies. And so this little thing called COVID happened. And it forced us to rethink our business model of, being a consultant. What does a consultant mean? And we focused on Consulting 2.0, which is how do you add value in a disconnected world? How do you add value as a consultant if you are remote and not going to be in the same place with your constituents and or customers? And so in doing so, we took our solutions that we were doing in person, package those up into what we call cloud solution accelerators, and deployed our first solution in 2021 into the Azure Marketplace. By the end of that year, we had customers in 44 countries, working with the BPGI program, the different accelerators within Microsoft, focusing on our message. By the end of that second year, we had customers in over 100 countries, and that continues to grow to this day. So the pivot is what we call it, was absolutely necessary for our business. We were successful before, but this has changed our trajectory drastically, and it's through the Microsoft programs, through their accelerators. Our solutions focus on DevOps. The cloud runs on DevOps, so that has given us the ability to scale and go to places that we were once not even considering, but now we are.
Right, because the cloud has allowed that opportunity. And I love that specifically, Dexter, with your story, it was honestly, we needed to figure out our own business, like how we were going to survive before, we were trying to throw out lifelines to help everybody else's company figure out what they were going to do. And once you all figured out, you're like, oh, we probably rinse and repeat this model for a lot of other companies across lots of different sectors. So yes, thank you so much for sharing that. Lucas, I want to bring it back to you because what you do at Ludia Consulting is fascinating. And the fact that you already have this deeply embedded partnership with Microsoft. I just want to read this statistic that I found from Markets and Markets about the digital transformation market in general, and the fact that it's expected to grow to over $3 trillion by 2030, which makes me think there's so many businesses out there that might not currently be in a state of digital transformation, but that are going to be in that state of transformation before we get to the year 2030. Even though that they struggle with some of this, what industries, in your opinion, Lucas, actually benefit the most from Microsoft Dynamics, and how Ludia Consulting is tailoring its solutions to really meet these unique needs?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say every industry is now going through a digital transformation challenge or pressure per se. Dexter, you mentioned the pandemic, and I think that was a catalyst for creating a new experience for a customer. Customers demand different results, much more nimble and connected systems and information as part of the interaction with a seller. So that is created a significant amount of need for data, processes, tools, and now AI on top of it to unify all of that. So now, from our perspective, manufacturing, energy, professional services, anything that was impacted. If we look back historically, the infrastructure bill, right, that was passed by the government and so on, all those industries that fuel from that are going to go through a tremendous digital transformation. And now on the manufacturing side, what sort of things or interactions is the customer expecting? It's really going to continue this and fully agree by 2030, 3 trillion. I would say it's north of that. Every company has to go through this transformation to survive, thrive, and bring value. That's the number one thing our customers are asking for.
Well, yes, I can definitely attest to, even though I run a digital media company, the fact that even what I do is still sometimes a challenge to see how much more digital can we make things. And I can only imagine for other industries or sectors that perhaps are not even as technology based, what it is that they need to do. And so they need to get them to that level of full like digital operations, and how they need companies like what you're doing at Ludia Consulting to really help connect the dots for them and put the puzzle pieces in place. So thank you for sharing that, Ludia. Jacqueline, I want to move on to you. I feel like we're kind of kindred spirits in the broader digital media space. What you do, though, is so in-depth, it's so intriguing on a multitude of levels. And you did already hint on the various sectors that Engage Media actually works across, but I want to restate some of them because it does include things like video games, museums, sports and entertainment, industrial applications, and government projects. So Jacqueline, can you share just some of the examples of how Engage Media Studios leverages emerging technologies within like the AI and the VR space to drive transformative digital experiences that transcend traditional boundaries?
Sure, yeah. We definitely leverage every aspect of emerging technologies because the industry, quite frankly, in all sectors, just as Lucas has just stated, everyone is going through digital transformation. It doesn't matter if our customers are within the industrial space, specifically within safety science, or in the sports, entertainment, and our government space. What you're seeing is across all of the sectors, digital transformation, and a lot of them in mostly in immersive ways, right? So, I give you an example of the industrial space from a safety science standpoint, where we're deploying immersive XR applications that revolutionize training and compliances, where we're taking our platform of simulation world scenarios, real world scenarios around any form of, I'll use one of the areas that we're primarily focused on is within the lithium ion battery space, where it's allowing workers, instead of having these physical environments, we create these virtual simulated worlds where they're risk-free in harm and so forth. So this not only enhances their learning and ability to create any form of various different scenarios, it also allows the workplace from an incident, reducing those incidents and all of their onboarding processes as it relates to the things that they're doing from a safety science perspective. And we do that across the ecosystem, whether it's with the research area, the areas of code compliance, and also in manufacturing. The other aspect, we take those same skill sets and we go into a different space, which is different vertical, which is sports and entertainment, where we take and create holographic experiences for like a Super Bowl fan experience, where we take and bring these stories, create these holograms, and we extend them not just from the capture, but we create applications that allows the extension of those captures, where these legends and the celebrities can continue to tell their stories. So we blend storytelling with cutting edge technology that creates these very unforgettable experiences across where fans can enjoy it. They love sports, they love entertainment, but they also want to get down to that human factor element. And so we make sure that we blend all of those things and all of those experiences across every project and to bring those stories to life.
I mean, that's just fascinating. The fact that you guys are creating these holograms, and some of you might not know, but Jacqueline is actually based in Houston, Texas, which is
Yeah.
not necessarily a city that people always think about when they think about cutting edge technology companies that are doing fascinating things. So I just want to shout that out from a regional perspective, that these entrepreneurs are based all over the country. And I know Dexter is out in Atlanta, Georgia, but these are spaces that you don't always think are cities of being super tech forward and tech focused, and just look at the great work that all of these entrepreneurs are doing. So yes, Jacqueline, thank you so much for
Yeah.
sharing that information and giving us those examples. Dexter, I'm going to move it over to you. We've already talked a little bit about the complexities with Lucas, especially as all these different companies across sectors are getting on top of their digital transformation needs, but specifically navigating the complexities of cloud adoption while ensuring efficient operations, right? That can be a challenge for many businesses. As you kind of said, what happened to you when you were starting Integral and having to really migrate to the cloud, but how that turned into an opportunity out of that challenge that really helped your business scale and grow significantly. So how does Integral's approach to cloud integration help businesses break down those data silos and really enhance that overall operational agility?
Yeah. So touching on what both Jackie and Lucas said, um, digital transformation is happening daily, and it's happening at scale, especially with AI, all of the advancements that we're seeing in technology today. One of the things that COVID did was it forced, if you weren't a cloud-based company, it forced more companies to become cloud-based companies. So now a lot of organizations are cloud first, right? And everything is separated out. It's remote, and everyone needs to have access to that information for collaboration. And so, I would say I didn't go out and reinvent the wheel. I looked at creating an experience that helped DevOps engineers. So if you're deploying anything to the cloud, you have to have a DevOps engineer. And so I was looking at, well, what did we do? How can we make their lives easier? How can we give them the ability to know within a certain finite amount of time, they can start in one place and be in the cloud in a finite amount of time? So we looked at how do you improve that cross section of employees' lives? And so by increasing their experience or improving their ability to do what we did at scale, obviously it gives them peace of mind. Like everybody wants to be able to go home in the evenings, but a lot of DevOps engineers, they don't get the time off in the holidays because that's when everything is being maintained and they need to, if they're doing any updates, anything like that. So what we focused on was how can we reduce that time to completion for those tasks and those things that they were doing, and then automate that. So we went one step further and said, okay, if we can create solutions that allow you to get to a point within a certain amount of time, how can we automate that and make that faster? So especially now with AI, we're looking at how you can take AI and instead of even knowing about, how do we deploy this solution, we can leverage that AI solution to say, hey, I need a database in the cloud. And then it'll deploy that based off of, best practices and things of that nature. So it's all about increasing or looking at the performance or experience of that particular group and then allowing them to live, more meaningful lives, because at the end of the day, we need that community, we need that togetherness. And so it's about the overall experience.
Yeah, I love that. Thanks so much for sharing, Dexter. And I'm going to pose one last question to all three of you, specifically as we try to look ahead. We've been talking a lot about how digital transformation, it is here now, but it is also clearly something that all sectors are going to be hyper focused on going forward, because we're seeing that needle move when it comes to shifting the paradigm on what a tech-driven society actually looks and feels like. How do you all collaborate with other tech companies, nonprofits, or even government entities to drive this broader systemic change that keeps you optimistic about the digital transformation space going forward? Who'd like to take that first?
So I would jump in and say that from a community standpoint, we want to make sure that we are engaged with the community. One of the things that we focused on with our organization was the groundswell approach. So instead of, you know, a lot of people don't only think of grassroots and groundswell from a standpoint of activism or networking, but that also works in technology and community. So as we build out your brand, as you build out things within technology, focusing on community, focusing on how do you bring people together that need to collaborate, and then empowering them with the tools to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. So interestingly enough, everyone, even though the digital transformation word seems huge and corporate, everyone's going through a digital transformation. Nonprofits are trying to serve their communities better, faster, with less money. The governments are trying to work and understand their systems, their how do they do things end to end. So state and local government is going through a technology restructuring, whatever it's called, but they're looking for new solutions, upgrading to the cloud as well. And so everybody it's really going through it. And so it's time of helping the communities grow in their digital transformation. Government also is doing its thing, and private companies are doing it. It's interesting. It's the same. It just has different lenses. And so for us as entrepreneurs, we got to bring everybody together. And one of the key areas of digital transformation is perspectives, meaning that every diversity brings a different perspective and a different eye on how digital transformation may look, or new ideas. So being able to bring that together from our community is crucial, and it's necessary for us to continue this journey. It affects everyone.
And Lucas, if I could add on to that, I completely agree that, you know, having diverse and exclusive voices into the spaces, the industry is moving at such a rapid pace and fostering smart partnerships along the way. It's just the right thing to do. It's a catalyst for business growth and industry innovation. I don't care what sector you're in, having these various different voices at the table in the society that we all live in, collaborative tech and building out various forms of very different ecosystems. It's going to unlock an enormous amount of new opportunity, but it also drives a large impact into our society. Collaboration is key. Partnering is going to be key in this to accelerate and to drive innovation. And we just believe in the fact of joining forces with other companies, whether it's as Dexter and both Lucas just stated, whether it's private, nonprofit, and also governments. You have to pool all these resources with various different forms of shared knowledge and bring that value and expertise to the table to really build scalable solution that really drives various different products into this complex society that we all live in.
All right. Well, perfect. That was a perfect way, Jacqueline, to round out our discussion. There's a lot to look forward to in the digital transformation space. And before I let you all go, I want to make sure that people get to know you all as people a little bit better. And we're going to turn into our Culture Bank's rapid fire question segment. So how it goes is you just say the first thing that comes to your mind. You don't have to give it deep thought, just whatever pops into your head at the moment. This will really help our audience get to know what makes you all the great entrepreneurs that you are every single day. So with that in mind, Lucas, I'm going to throw the first rapid fire question to you, which is, what motivates you to keep going and why?
I would say there's just opportunity everywhere. It doesn't matter what's happening in the world. There's an opportunity to create change or do something better or learn something new. There's always that. And so I wake up every day and just thinking, okay, what's it going to be today, and what are we going to get out of it from a opportunity perspective, and just be able to bring everybody with me. And my organization really just. It's like my family, so I bring them along every day.
All right, I love that. Jacqueline, the next rapid fire question is for you. What are the 3 skills you think entrepreneurs need to be successful?
Guts, guts and guts. It takes a lot to do what we do as entrepreneurs. I believe the other items that rounds us out, of course, is vision, strategy, and the ability to really know how to pivot quickly. But it takes a lot of, if you're not a risk taker, this is not for you, right? Because it really takes a lot of drive to get up and do what we do every day, to knock down all the obstacles and barriers that we face as just business people in general. But you got to have a lot of grit, and you've got to have guts and drive to be able to knock through all of those things as they present themselves.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Dexter, the next rapid fire question is for you. What time of day are you most productive?
I'm an early riser, so 5:30 to 7:30, I am super productive. Everything else is quiet. Nobody else is trying to email you. No one else is trying to call you. I get my meditation out of the way and I wake up with a purpose. Like, like Lucas was saying, you get up every morning, you're driven. Like, if you're not waking up and you have things that you're excited about, entrepreneurship might not be the thing for you, because nobody's going to say, hey, it's time for you to get up. You got this, here's your list of things to do. Like, those things have to be ingrained in your psyche to say, hey, I'm driven and this is our North Star. I'm going to wake up. I don't know how we're getting there, but we're getting there, right? And you're out there putting together a strategy. You're figuring out what your gaps are. And so for me, that's a quiet time of day. And I am super productive early mornings.
I love that. And it also makes me think that I know I need to email you between 5:30 and 7:30 a.m. I'll probably get a very quick response. So I'm just going to keep that mental note for myself personally, and maybe for the rest of you guys on here, if you want to hear back from Dexter really quickly. All right, Lucas, we're coming back to you. What is your favorite life hack?
Oh, I got two. So how's that? Two for the price of one. One is technical, the other one's not. One, I have assistants in AI. I use it day in and day out, from recipes to home cleaning to wiring things up to business problems, anything. And I feed it and I tailored it to do my things. So that's a life hack that it just surpasses. It gives agility that I've never had. And maybe another opinion, maybe a different way of looking at life that we haven't considered. That is a life hack that is available to everyone. And the second personal one is that in our lives, and Jackie and Dexter, you were calling it out, we have a lot of pressure. So being able to also step away, meditate, Dexter, to what you just brought in, it's imperative. Be able to take a step back, meditate, take care of the inside so you can take care of the outside.
Great.
All right, I love that. I love that we got two for the price of one. Those are both great. Jacqueline, this next one is for you. What is the one, oh, this is going to be a good one, especially from these type people. What is the one app that you cannot live without?
Oh gosh. I'm gonna do like Lucas, you're gonna get two from me.
Okay.
Depends on what part of the on the technical side. I'm not even going to go into the technical aspect because of the role that I play in, and I'm more than sure my technology people would have a different app that they would use. But it's really two things that I use from a communication standpoint throughout with the team. One is going to be Slack as it relates to the product and operational, and making sure I'm staying abreast of where we are on timelines and communicating with the team, because I'm traveling so much and I'm always on the road. But the other one for me in really running the business and building, this is all about finance and modeling, is actually a very great financial model utilizing, quite frankly, Excel spreadsheets and building these financial models and making sure that you know how the business aspect is going to, if you're going into a new sector, what's the business model, how's it going to function, how are you going to make revenue, all of those things. And you've got to be able to know how to build those financial models. So those are two worlds that I have to live in. Even though I love getting down with my technology people and going through the tech and talking about tech stacks and so forth. But really on the business operational side, I have to be in a different role. And those would be the two that I could not live without.
All right, Excel and Slack. Dexter, the last rapid fire, well, individual rapid fire question is for you. And this is going to be hard. I'm going to try to hold you to just one because I ask this question all the time. And with all of you great entrepreneurs who are very well read, it's a difficult question. But what is the one book that changed your life?
So it gave me a different context or lens to look at things through, like Luca said, and it was actually a part of a leadership class, working with emotional intelligence. And you would think in tech, it would be some tech book or some art of war, some like real strategic book, but it was really understanding the human aspect of just interactions with people, how you communicate, and having meaningful outcomes based on what expectations you're setting for that emotional part of that conversation, as opposed to just IQ. Because everyone had, in tech, they're going to be smart. Like they're going to have the ability to deliver. They're going to be capable. But do they want to be capable, right? That's an emotional aspect that you have to give that person the drive to understand. We're part of a team. We're part of I say it's like being a coach, being an entrepreneur is like a coach. It's draft day. I got to pick my team. I need a quarterback. I need a lineman. I need defensive backs. I need the whole team, and everybody can't be the quarterback, right? So being able to have those conversations, getting proper alignment, getting buy-in, and like I said, dealing with that emotional component of, working with people is paramount to success for me.
Yeah, I love that. I was not expecting that book answer from you, but I've also read that book and it is a fantastic read. So I definitely recommend, if people haven't read it, you should look into that book. And this is my final rapid fire question, because at Culture Banks, we use music every single day to make sure that our audience has a authentic connection with high level business, finance, tech, and innovation news. So I must know, what song is currently on repeat on your playlist? Lucas, we're going to start with you.
All right, so we have an 8-year-old here at home, and I've been showing all the old school songs. Funny enough, she's really gotten into Queen. So interestingly enough, Under Pressure, it's a very interesting song. I listened to it the other day, really sat down and kind of just heard it again, and it's been really ringing here with regards to what's going on, what happens, the pressure that we have as entrepreneurs, what we can do, and the empathy that we need. So it's been really fascinating to bring back one of the old school ones here. I would say that one, yeah, Under Pressure by Queen. Kind of interesting song,
And I
yeah.
love that your 8-year-old is like blast the Freddie Mercury like all day long. So
Right.
Yeah, it's just fascinating.
All right, Jacqueline, how about you? What song is currently on repeat on your playlist?
Oh, that's the top. Look, my daughter can answer this question, right? It's Just Fine by Mary J. Blige.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah, sometimes you get into these modes and these zones, and it's like, okay, come on, Mary J. I need it. I need I need to be picked up today. And so I turn that on, and it gets me into a completely different mind space, and keeps me on, hey, like, fight the battle. Let's work through it. Let's get
You
through
and
it. I'm
Mary
gonna
J.
be
in there
Mary
working
J.
it out. I love that. All right, Dexter, you got to round it out. We need a good one.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a twofer.
Okay.
It's either going to be I'm in Atlanta, so I'm a hip hop kid. I'm listening to rap, trap house, whatever. But it's going to either be Rick Ross, hustle. You gotta hustle hard. You gotta get your hustle. You can't, closed mouths don't get fed on the boulevard. But we're doing this in tech. The second one is Life is Good, Future side though, like not Drake, but Future. I'm always on Future.
Oh,
I don't have a problem with
Drake
Drake.
is going
That's
to
a
catch a
good
break.
one.
That's obviously not today, but yes. I love that. Thank you all so much for just giving us a little bit more insight into who you are as people. And thank you for sharing, and letting us celebrate the great work that your companies are doing. And to everyone watching, of course, we're going to be back with another episode all around elevating innovation. So make sure you stay tuned to Culture Banks for more. Have a great day.